All right, Virgo, let's go ahead and do a message for you guys, or Virgo cross watcher. You can also reverse this if you need to. I about threw this pen out of my hand. Look at this. Well, I only did one page. I think Leo's I did like a page and a half. Look at that. Ooh, the time is 9:11. Look at that. Would you look at that? We're all getting, oh, it just changed. We're all getting, what time is it?
The time is 9:12 a.m.
Yeah, it just changed. It was 9/11. I just wanted to show you all that. Trust issues. That's what we've got here. Maybe I should call this the trust. I don't know. The trust or the pause. Pause is in like, woo, who goes there? Which one? I guess we'll figure it out as we go. Every one of us, all signs are going through this right now. We're in a time of expansion, and so in order to expand, these things are like happening. Everybody's kind of going through these things, and it's all different, but it's needed. I mean, we all need it. So here's what I'm getting. A lot of you, this is probably going to be reversed, but it doesn't have to be. Here we go. So what's going on here is currently the state of a connection between you and another, romantic or not, take it as it resonates for you. I don't want to say one or the other, so only you'll know what it's for. Is on a pause. You and a person, you haven't spoken. I don't know how long it's been, but you're in separation currently right now. You do not speak at this moment right now. From this person's side of things, the reason that they aren't speaking is because this person wants clarity. Whether or not they want the clarity from you, they could be wanting it from, like, asking for the universe to give them signs or something. They want more clarity on the connection with you. To be completely real, they don't trust you, but it may not be a personal thing. Some of you, it is a personal thing. Maybe there's already been things between y'all, or they just don't trust the situation. They might not trust the situation due to, I don't know, I really can't tell what it is. I can't tell. It could be a couple of things, but something was a red flag to them. You do not trust this person. What is it you don't trust about them? I'm getting some sort of style of communication. So a way that you guys would talk, a way that they would communicate with you, or a form in which they would use to communicate with you. I don't really know, right? Vice versa. This person, what's pausing them is, I think they want to make sure that you and them, it's something to do with timing, unless it's reversed. It's something to do with timing for them. And it's like they want to make sure that they can rely on this, rely on you, that it's something they can count on, but you also want to make sure it's something you can count on. It's like you both want to make sure it's something you can count on. You don't really know. You know what this feels like to me, to be completely real? I think it's miscommunication. I genuinely do. I think you and another person, now it's not going to be every story. Some people here, it's not miscommunication. It's exactly what it is, and neither of you should be able to trust each other, or one of you, maybe you really can't trust them. But the one I'm picking up on here, it's not that you guys can't trust each other. This person's been through a lot. You've been through a lot. And together, it's like we're both trying to protect ourselves. We're both also expanding spiritually and mentally, emotionally. We're expanding in our own lives as individuals, and in that happening, we're shedding old things that have happened to us. And meanwhile, when we've connected, we're like, I don't know, carrying our issues with us or something. You don't trust this person, and this person doesn't trust you. There could be, I don't know, for some of you there's love there, but there's no trust. Not genuinely at the core of things. Like, this person deep down wonders if they know everything they need to know about you, your true intentions, and meanwhile you could be wondering their true intentions, and this and that. Like, some of you, I feel like you may think this person, unless it's reversed, you may think this individual is hiding something from you or living a double life, or I don't know. You also got to be careful of other people being in your ear. I wouldn't tell anybody about the situation because they don't know. Vice versa. This person should not tell anyone about the situation because they don't know. For the majority of you, I feel like the connection would be fine if you and this person could sit down and put it all out on the table and be like, this is really what's going on. And, you know, somebody may even stop talking to another here or not care to start something up or whatever because they feel like another person, because they feel the other person not trusting them. It's like, you don't trust me genuinely. I know that you don't, so therefore I can't trust you because you don't really trust me. And so how am I going to be able to... This is all trust here. This is all trust. There's red flags, there's pauses, but the red flag is each other, to be completely honest. I'm a walking red flag. Aren't you? Aren't we all walking red flags? Every single day we're uncovering things about ourselves, and we're all in the middle of expanding. We're all shedding, we're all learning, we're all unlearning. And so there's a red flag with all of us. We all live behind a red flag too. I mean, now they're changing the flags, but look, on your mailbox, there's a red flag. We wake up and we sleep behind a fucking red flag every day. And we send off mail throughout it and receive mail throughout it. Red flags right out there in our front yard. Now, again, we don't all have a red flag, it's just an example here. But we're all walking red flags. And so, in order to not point the finger here, like I was picking up in Leo, somebody pointing the finger at them, you know, we all have our issues. And we can be quick to assume and quick to jump to conclusions, and then when we tell other people about it and then they give their input, or we don't even have to tell them about it, but they come to us with their blah 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 blah, their things, and then we start wondering, or then we see something online and then we assume and we read too much into things and we overanalyze. And I feel you both have done this with each other, for whoever this is for. Is this going to be a popular message? Nope, nobody's going to like it, but it's the truth. Do you know, I literally overanalyze shit on a fucking daily. Do you know how many times a week that I am proved wrong? Very often, because I have severe trust issues. Fucking severe. And I can use all day because of this, and that. I mean, yeah, I've been through a lot of shit, so hopefully people are understanding of me when I have trust issues, but also, it's shit I gotta work on, you know what I mean? Like, really, I'm in the process of working on it, and it's not an overnight thing. So, the only type of people who don't want to hear something like this is someone who thinks everyone else is the problem. But we all are a problem. We all have our own shit. We all have our own problems that we're working through. And if we're really wanting to expand, then we have to see that in ourselves. Like, you know, are we trying to find fault in someone? Are we trying to think that there's a malicious reasoning behind this happening, and why did they talk like that, and why do they only communicate with me through this style of communication? Why do they only why does this happen and this happen and this happen? You know what I mean? I mean, I can give a perfect example. I've before had someone go off on me because they thought that I was behind an account that was pretending to be me, making me look a certain type of way, but it wasn't even me. And then questioned if it was really me running it the whole time. And I'm like, the fuck? Why? But that was their trust issues, and we had to work through that. But that type shit right there is what I'm saying, like assuming the worst, right? But then I've also had it where I assumed that someone was behind it that wasn't behind it, or assumed that someone was at least knowledgeable of who was behind it and not, you know what I mean? Like things like that. And that's just one example, but there's so many other things. It's like, oh, that's this person or this person, but it's not even that. Like you could have somebody who's like a jealous ex or a fucking jealous family member, definitely been through it and still going through it. This is an example of something I know from personal experience. And they'll create an account for somebody, like a fucking dating profile or something, and somebody will be like, oh my god, my person's cheating on me, and so it's like, are you cheating? And then they end up leaving someone, but it's not even the person. Now, sometimes, is it the person? Yeah, so you have to use discernment. And there's nothing wrong with a pause. There's nothing wrong with separation. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back, and I don't care how long it is, and saying, you know, or not saying anything, whatever. Sometimes you can't find the words. Until you find the words, you can't find the words, and then you gotta say something you don't want to say. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with taking that step back and being like, okay, is it me? Is it me? Is it something I'm really like, is it my trust issues? Am I really paranoid? Am I scared because my heart is invested? Like, what's really going on here? You know what I mean? Am I just trying to find the fault? Like, there's been times whenever I was reading tarot, there were times that I would like look into it and I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what it means. But I mean, it's kind of like when you read the Bible. I mean, just as an example, there's so many ways it could be interpreted instead of it being actual literal like that. I mean, there's so many other things, but sometimes because we want to see it like that, that's how we see it. You know what I mean? So, guys, that's what I'm getting here is you and another person, you're both going through changes. This is actually something that needed to happen. This isn't a bad thing that's happening. The trust issue thing, this isn't a bad message. It's actually a very positive message. It depends on how you and this person, if it's not you, it could be someone going through this on the outside of you. It depends on how that person and another allows it to affect them and take over them, right? And allows it to change them. This is positive. Right here, what's going on is the most positive thing here is that two people, the outcome of each other's feelings is that both people are changing and transforming because of this. What are we changing and transforming into is what the real kicker is going to be. But we're changing nonetheless. We're expanding nonetheless. And had we not taken this step back, we wouldn't have even realized there were these issues. Do we want to dive headfirst into a friendship, into a relationship, into a marriage, into whatever, without addressing these things and then have to get into it later on? Or do we want to address it right now? Now, if people are already, let's say, romantically together and then going through this, that's going to be real fucking rough. Real rough. And then it's going to be like, well, I don't want to be away from you. I can't be away from you, like, blah, blah, blah. But that might be exactly what it needs in order to bring two people back together closer and stronger. Or ultimately end. It depends. Endings are not always bad. They're transformative. They liberate us. They purify us. They show us ourselves. They teach us things. And I mean, life is a bitch, isn't it? Life is a fucking bitch. Trust me, I'm telling you right now, I've said this before. I've said it recently too. I do not even have sort of any answers. I am daily going through this with you guys. So this isn't a message that's like, I don't even want to say it. Like, I don't want to say it's not a negative message. It's not, though. But will it be interpreted that way? Yes. Yeah, it will. Because it's uncomfortable. We don't like to be uncomfortable. I say we, myself included. I'm tired of being fucking uncomfortable. Like, I'm ready for this shit to stop happening. But it's just not the time. This is the time we're being, like, pushed to, again, expand. Maybe I should call this the expansion. Because I don't want to focus on what's got us to this point. I want to focus on the fact that we're here. Imagine if we didn't take this break from each other, if we didn't take this time to not speak to one another and experience things and go through things, right? The beautiful thing here is the change is happening. The transformation is occurring right now. You're both having these awakenings. You're both addressing yourselves just as we all are, hopefully we all are every single day. And not because another person's like fucking trying to start shit with us or say shit about us or assume shit on us. Like, that's so negative and it always comes back on us. Trust me, I can be a very negative fucking person. I'm ruled by Mars. I can be a very, very negative person. But it's because there's a lot of negativity in there. And there's nothing wrong with, I mean, we need duality. So there's nothing wrong with it, but it's when I don't address my issues that I put them on other people and I think it's their issues when really it's a me issue. Now, you do have people in your life that will try to fuck with you, that really aren't trustworthy. And then that's when we use our discernment. But then again, we can be mad at them all day or be like, it is what it is. It liberated me. It taught me something. But until we know, we can't assume. We can't just say, you know. Now, if you're here and you're watching me, vice versa, however this goes, and you know for damn sure, not because we're speculating, but for damn sure, that you're being done wrong and that someone is not who they say they are to you and they're fucking with you and they're intentionally trying to hurt you and they're intentionally being duplicitous or whatever, then that's different. they'll answer for that, just like we have to answer for our own shit. But if we're assuming on people, we have to answer for that. I do it often. I'm like literally, I'm always answering for shit that I do. Always. You know how people can go, sometimes you can have people that go their whole fucking life and they can do the most awful shit to people, and it's like, how do you even have a family right now? Like, you've done some fucked up shit. You think they're happy? They're not fucking happy. But it seems to us like they're just getting away with shit, like the shit that they've done and we know, or the shit they did against us. It's like, how did they get away with that? You know? But yet we do something, whether it's assuming the wrong thing or thinking the wrong thing, or we evilize somebody and we're not even consciously aware we're doing it, or we kind of get a little jealous or whatever, and we answer boom, like right away, because we got a different path here. We got a different journey here, and you know, we got to learn a little faster, a little different. And it just seems unfair, you know? To me, I'm not talking about anybody who's actually doing anyone wrong. To me, this is two very good people. Sorry. I know people aren't going to want to hear it because they probably didn't make it to this point in the video. They just wanted to immediately click off or be upset with me. I believe this is two very good people who don't intend harm on each other and who are genuine. Now, if the others are here, they're here. But I'm not talking about them. This is for the people who are genuinely, they meant it. They were genuine friends to each other. They were genuine lovers to each other. Genuine whatever. Family, however this goes. But both have significant trauma before each other and maybe even during, just some things. And instead of, we really like this wound, you know, or several wounds, and instead of like we work through it, sometimes you can't right at the time. You have to separate in order to work through it, because we got to work through it here first before we work through it with another, because sometimes we don't even know it's like actually coming from in here. It's so much. I mean, this is like a really fucking deep message. It's like, I can't trust you. There's two people here who don't trust each other. And I'm telling you, if this is a relationship where people are together right now, there's two people who don't trust each other. That's what it is. That's what I feel strongly. There's two people who do not trust each other. They can stay together all day, but they don't trust each other. And I think both people would know it. But then at that point, can you imagine? And then it's like, well, we feel like we can't take a little bit of a break or a separation from each other, you know, whether we have to do it legally or not, or we just literally just need a little bit, because we get into that space where once we're holding on, and then we don't want to let go. We don't want to be the failure. Oh my God, I just picked up on this the other day from a movie I saw. I bet my daughter's she told me about this thing on my phone where you can watch movies online. So I've been watching a whole lot of movies. Anyway, see, that's another thing. Let's say see, that's just popping in my head right now, but let's say you see a movie that's still in theaters or one that just came out, and someone's going to assume, like, who'd you go with? Oh, you seeing somebody else or something like that. And it's like, what? I'm literally watching it on my phone. Like, the fuck? But you see, it's just assuming and shit like that. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's called Speak No Evil movie. It was something the wife said. She was like, hold on, you know what? I sent it to myself. So, darling, let me go find it. It's way back here. I message myself a lot, actually. So, hold on, guys. I'm gonna find it. Give me a second. It's gonna be way back here. Wait. Oh, come on. Dang, has it been that long? Oh, here we go. I found it. All right. The wife and the husband were arguing in the bedroom of a guest house or whatever, and she said to him, I don't know if you're with me because you love me or because you just can't stand to fail. See what I'm saying? So, like, these are imagine, though, if this is two people who were going to get together, or we were moving in that direction, if we just kind of avoid all of our insecurities and avoid the trust issues we have, and avoid, and not talking doesn't necessarily mean anyone's avoiding. We're just expanding separately. which is fine. Now, somebody could be avoiding here. That's different. I'm not talking about that. But imagine if you're already with somebody and then it's like, now we feel like we're trapped with each other. Now, who's going to admit that? Neither people are going to want to admit that. And then you're like stuck with it, you know? You're not, but you feel like you are. So, yeah, I like these people. I like this message, actually. I really, really like this message. In fact, it's extremely authentic. I mean, this is authentic. I've been through all of this. I've been the one doing it, and I've had it happen to me. And to me, this has the most potential because at least two people are still growing, even if they're growing apart. If they're two friends that end up talking again or coming back together, these people could be the best of friends, like, and actually mean it now instead of just calling each other best friends. Because, you know, both people are realizing where the fuck they went wrong. And you know, and that they're not perfect and blah, blah, blah. If this is like family, same type thing. If this is, like romance, you know, or whatever, friends that turn into romance, and then we've had to take a little break from each other, whatever. It's like, hey, you know, when it does come back together, or when we do kind of reconnect, we choose the tone together, how we want this to go. But also, I'm going to come to you and let you know, hey, I've got some issues. I've got some fucking issues. I do. I got some fucking major issues. And they're like, you know what, I've got some issues too. And, yeah. What's wrong with that? I would rather that shit than, oh, we're fine, everything's fine, you know, we think we're healed, and it's like, we're not fucking healed. We're never fucking healed. Every single day is a challenge for me to get up. Have I not drank in years? Yeah, this coming year will be 6 years. Have I not smoked in years? Yeah. Have I not self-harmed in years? Yeah. Have I been celibate for years? Yeah, but that don't mean that fucking wound is still not there. It's every fucking day. Every day, I'm like, why am I on this bitch-ass planet? You know what I mean? And then I'm like, well, it doesn't matter why I'm here, and I gotta fucking figure it out. I gotta do something, you know? Like, it's uncomfortable being a fucking human, you know? And then connections with other people. And right now, honestly, this is a time that a lot of people are benefiting more from being isolated. Well, not necessarily isolated, but single. And or just separated and expanding individually. Now, if we can't be separated and we must be around others, still expanding. We're all doing it, even if we don't want to. We're like being forced to expand. You know, it's like bread and water. I don't know, I would say a tampon and a cooter, but I've heard that those don't actually expand. I don't know. I've seen them expand, so I think they do. I don't know. Did y'all see that thing? Or like, anyway. All right, guys. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.